Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. We'll start with the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos issues a royal decree. As per royal orders, His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed will preside over the annual horse race of the Royal Cavalry in the Wilaya of Suhar tomorrow. And assigned by His Majesty the Sultan, Her Excellency the Minister of Higher Education participates in the inauguration ceremony of His Excellency the President of Kenya. Those are the headlines, and now for the news in details. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos issued Royal Decree number 45/2017, issuing the system of the Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Article 1 enacts the system for Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry as per the annex attached. Article 2, the Chairman of the Board of Directors of Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry shall issue the executive regulations, financial and administrative regulations, and other regulations and decisions necessary to implement provisions of the attached system. The executive regulations shall be published in the official gazette, and until such resolutions are issued, the resolutions in force shall continue in a manner not inconsistent with provisions of the attached system. Article 3, all that contradicts with the provisions of the system shall be cancelled. Article 4, this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect from the next day of its issue. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Mohammed Wad Abdel Aziz of Mauritania on his country's independence anniversary. His Majesty the Sultan also sent a similar cable to His Excellency President Ilir Meta of Albania on his country's National Day. As per the royal orders of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers Affairs, shall preside over the annual horse race of the Royal Cavalry in the Wilaya of Suhar tomorrow. The race will include 5 rounds. The first round is allocated for the Arabian horses for lady jockeys for a distance of 1,200 meters. The second round also allocated for pure Arabian horses for a distance of 1,200 meters. The third round is for pure Arabian horses and for 1,600 meters. The fourth round will be dedicated for pure Arabian horses with high ratings during 2017 and 2018 season for 1,600 meters. The fifth and final round will have a tough contest as selected pure Arabian horses are competing for His Majesty's Cup. A number of equestrian shows will be performed between the intervals. Assigned by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, Her Excellency Dr. Rawiya bin Saud Al Busaidiyya, Minister of Higher Education, left the Sultanate today heading to Kenya to participate in the inauguration ceremony of President Uhuru Kenyatta as a president for a second term, which will be in the Kenyan capital Nairobi tomorrow. Her Excellency the Minister of Higher Education is accompanied by His Excellency Saleh bin Sulaiman Al Harthi, Sultanate's ambassador to Kenya. The Shura Council forwarded the report of Financial and Economic Committee on the state's general budget for the fiscal year 2018 to the State Council. It came during the 2 sessions of the Council where the members discussed the report that included a number of recommendations and notes. The sessions also reviewed the reply of the Council of Ministers on the recommendations of the Shura Council of the situation of private schools in the Sultanate. His Excellency Khalid bin Hilal Al Ma'wali, Chairman of the Shura Council, headed the session. Introducing goals and stages of the National Strategy for Urban Development in the Governorate of South Batna was the center of discussions of the Municipal Council meeting with the work team charged with implementing the study of the strategy for the project. The meeting dwelt on the main sphere of social and economic development in the wilayas of the Governorate, along with other fields that achieve sustainable development. It's worth mentioning that the project of the National Strategy for Urban Development, which is supervised by the Supreme Council for Planning, seeks to put a long-term plan to regulate urban developments in various wilayas of the Sultanate's governorates. The meeting, which was held at the Lectures Hall at the Sultan Qaboos Mosque in the wilaya of Suhar, highlighted mechanisms of organizing urban development that go in line with the economic and investment growth being witnessed by North Batna governorates. In order to improve the skills of Omani youth in the oil and gas sectors, the Oman Society for Petroleum Services OPAL signed a training agreement with a Chinese institute specialized in oil production sector. The agreement will provide free training opportunities for 30 Omani citizens from the oil companies, which are members in OPAL. The Omani citizens will undergo the 3-month training program in Kirui Institute in Chanyun district in China, and the agreement is considered a valuable opportunity for the Omani youth to acquaint with the latest technologies in the field of oil and gas, including techniques of extracting and refining oil and gas. The program is considered a qualitative shift in the training field and a new service being rendered by OPAL to its members, adding that the coming stage will witness a number of training programs to serve the requirements of the oil and gas sector in the Sultanate. 3 teams won the competition of the best physical activity, which was adopted by the National Youth Commission, the NYC. The first position won by the team of smartphone applicants, followed by Every Omani is a Sportsman, where the third position went towards Sustainable Physical Activity Initiative. These initiatives came within the framework of the National Youth Commission's activities, which target various interests for youths. Yes or No team, one of the campaigns by NYC, which was adopted Best Initiatives for Physical Activity in the Governorate of Muscat. The Municipal Council and the Governorate of Muscat organized a workshop on the parliamentary media and ways of developing them through training the people working in various media fields and in e-media fields. The workshop also discussed ways to improve abilities and skills of the Omani media men. His Excellency Engineer Mohsen bin Mohammed al-Sheikh, Chairman of Muscat Municipality, presided over the event. Means of activating mechanisms of the implementation of the initiatives for the efficiency of labor market and technical and vocational education was the main aspect discussed at the meeting that gathered officials at the Ministry of Manpower and the Research Council on the National Strategy for Innovation. The meeting stressed that preparing the National Strategy for Innovation is based on global indicators in this field, such as the Global Innovation Indicator, and based on outcomes of the UN CTAD study about policies of sciences and technology in the Sultanate. The meeting further showcased the role of the Ministry of Manpower in the process of supporting and activating national innovation systems, which come through 2 main aspects, particularly human capital, which the ministry has contributed efficiently in developing and creating it, and the proficiency of the labor market policies. And still to come in our news bulletin. The Sultanate's embassies and wilayas continue celebrating the 47th Glorious National Day. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The Hamas group today said the arsenal of resistance in Gaza is a source of power for all Palestinians. The comments came in response to demands for the group's disarmament in Gaza. At a press briefing, senior Hamas official Khalil al-Haya said that the group's arsenal will not be touched. It's not for debate or talk. His remarks highlight stark antagonism between Hamas and Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas's Fatah movement as the 2 rivals are negotiating steps for reconciliation. Fatah, which holds sway in the West Bank, wants Hamas's rockets, explosives and attack tunnels in Gaza neutralized. Hamas wrested control of Gaza from Fatah in an armed coup in 2007, provoking an Israeli-Egyptian blockade on the territory and 3 wars with Israel. Last month, Fatah and Hamas signed a reconciliation deal in which Hamas began ceding control to the Palestinian Authority, but differences do remain. The Zimbabwean Defense Forces, the ZDF, and police issued a joint statement today in which they said the situation in the country had returned to normalcy following the inauguration of Emerson Mnangagwa as president. A spokesperson for the ZDF called on the country to remain united and cooperate with security services as they discharge their duties. The police, largely absent from the streets of Harare during the tumultuous leadership transition would assume its role set out in the Constitution. He said the police and army will conduct joint patrols. The statement came as reports surfaced of looting and the illegal occupation of farms and houses following the resignation of former President Robert Mugabe after a crisis during which the military staged a takeover and crowds demonstrated against Mugabe at the end of his 37-year rule. The UK has announced that it is increasing its aid to Rohingya Muslims living in the camps in Bangladesh and called on others to also increase their contribution. Speaking on a visit to a Rohingya refugee camp in Bangladesh, Cox's Bazar district yesterday, UK's International Development Secretary Penny Mordaunt announced £12 million in extra UK aid for those fleeing violence in Myanmar's Rakhine state. The additional funding will bring the UK's total support for the Rohingya to £59 million since August this year. China's premier attended a summit with 16 countries from Central and Eastern Europe in Budapest, the Hungarian capital, today to discuss his country's cooperation with Eastern Europe. China's new Silk Road initiative to expand trade across Asia and Africa and Europe is one of the key themes of the 6th edition of the annual meeting with the 16 European countries. Hungary has announced its well-published today the public procurement tenders for the reconstruction of the railway line between Budapest and Belgrade, the capital of Serbia. The project is being financed mainly by China. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban has been keen to pursue a policy of Eastern opening for Hungary, looking into increased trade with Asia while portraying Western Europe as economically challenged and losing its global standing. Britain's Prince Charles said he was thrilled at his son Prince Harry's engagement to American actress Meghan Markle. Arriving at Damer's first school in Pondbury, Dorset, where he was finding out about community and sustainability programs, he told reporters the news was very good and added that he was thrilled for them both. They'll be very happy indeed. Britain's royal palace said Prince Harry and actress Meghan Markle are engaged and will marry in the spring of 2018. The announcement came today from the office of Harry's father, Prince Charles. It said the couple became engaged earlier this month. It said 36-year-old Markle has met Queen Elizabeth II, and Harry also has received the blessing of Markel's parents. 33-year-old Harry is fifth in line to the British throne. Indonesia's authorities ordered a mass evacuation of people today from an expanded danger zone around an erupting volcano on Bali. Mount Agung has been hurling clouds of white and dark gray ash about 3,000 meters into the atmosphere since the weekend, and lava is welling up in the crater, sometimes reflected as a reddish-yellow glow in the ash plumes. Its explosion can be heard about 12 kilometers away. Video released by the National Disaster Agency showed a mud flow of volcanic debris and water known as lahar moving down the volcano slopes. It said lahars could increase as it's rain season and warned people to stay away from rivers. The ashes also covered a wide area surrounding the volcano, including Buana Goeri village, whose inhabitants were evacuated to safer areas. Even though the village is outside the danger zone, the ash was covering grass and trees on Monday, and villagers were worried about what to feed cattle. The volcano's last major eruption in 1963 killed about 1,100 people, and the exclusion zone around the crater was widened to 10 kilometers. Previously, it ranged between 6 and 7.5 kilometers. And now for more local news. His Excellency Lieutenant General Hassan bin Mohsen al-Shariqi, Inspector General of Police and Customs, received His Excellency Dr. Valdemir Kovnishov, Secretary General of the International Organization for Civil Protection and Civil Defense. During the meeting, they exchanged cordial talks and reviewed a number of matters of common concern. The Sultanate, represented by the Ministry of Information, took part in activities at the 90th round of the Permanent Committee of Arab Media, which was held at the headquarters of the Arab League. The committee discussed a number of articles, such as the role of Arab media in addressing terrorism and the means of concerted media efforts of Arab countries to counter the spread of this phenomenon. The committee discussed the media plan to utilize the social media websites in order to mobilize energies to address the problem of illiteracy in the Arab world, prepared by a team of specialist media experts. The Sultanate's delegation was presided over by His Excellency Ali bin Khalfan Jabri, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Information. Celebrations of the 47th Glorious National Day continue around the Sultanate. In the Wilaya of Masira and the Governorate of South Sharqiya, a celebration was organized on this glorious occasion. It included artistic performances by a group of children in addition to poetic sessions. The event came to embody meanings of allegiance and loyalty to the beloved leader and the country. The event witnessed a huge participation from members of the society, and during the celebrations, the participants expressed sincere greetings and wishes on this glorious occasion, asking Almighty to return such happy occasions on His Majesty with health, and to Oman and its nation with permanent welfare. Meanwhile, in the Wilaya of Boshar, the citizens rejoiced this glorious occasion through poetic sessions that witnessed the participation from a number of poets and those interested in national poems. The poets delivered poems praising His Majesty the Sultan and the achievements realized during His Majesty's glorious reign at all levels and walks of life. During the event, the citizens renewed their allegiance and loyalty to the beloved leader and the country. It was also accompanied by traditional singing arts and crafts exhibition displaying various handicrafts and local products. The Sultanate's embassy in Syria hosted a reception ceremony on the occasion of the 47th Glorious National Day, which was attended by a number of officials, media people, and heads of the Arab and foreign diplomatic missions. During the ceremony, the attendees exchanged greetings on this delightful occasion and expressed their feelings of further progress and prosperity to the Omani people. In Mauritania, the Sultanate's embassy organized a reception ceremony led by His Excellency Nasser bin Mohammed al-Mawali, charged the affairs of the Sultanate's embassy, to Nouakchott, who received the well-wishers, including senior Mauritanian officials, as well as a number of heads of diplomatic missions, media men, journalists, and businessmen. The Science and Technology Laboratory was opened in the Wilaya of Nizwa. It came as a continuation of efforts exerted to provide an innovative environment for school students in the Governorate of Dakhiliya. The lab, which was funded by Petroleum Development Oman, is considered a great addition to the scientific experiments on nanotechnology and renewable energy. The lab is equipped with the latest and modern tools to assist the students in their practical experiments and increase their knowledge. The new building of Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry was opened in the Wilaya of Haima in the Governorate of Wusta. The opening of the new building came to keep up with the latest economic and investment developments witnessed by the Sultanate. It also came coinciding with the country's celebration of the 47th Glorious National Day. It includes a hall for customer service equipped with modern devices that will facilitate the transactions, and it also has a meeting room and a conference hall that includes interpretation devices. There's also a section for information technology so as to facilitate the work process of the chamber. The opening ceremony was presided over by His Highness Sayyid Fatih bin Fahar Al Said. And now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate with chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning over the Governorate of North Sharqiya and Boremi. Winds will be northwesterly to northerly light to moderate, and seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1 meter. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos issues a royal decree. As per the royal orders, His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed will preside over the annual horse race of the Royal Cavalry in the Wilaya of Sohar tomorrow. And assigned by His Majesty the Sultan, Her Excellency the Minister of Higher Education participates in the inauguration ceremony of His Excellency the President of Kenya. With that, we come to an end to tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, good night.